going to talk about some budget-friendly ideas. Starting a new series, budget-friendly ideas. A lot of people say, I'd like to know how to make something that maybe doesn't cost as much. And there's all kinds of things you can do. So, let's start with this tray from the Dollar Tree. And I want to show you some easy ideas that you can do. We're going to do some start doing some budget-friendly things. And so, this is just those little berries. I put mine in this little, I did this one day and put mine in here. But I want to show you that you can use these for all kinds of things. I got these from Factory Direct. You can get them from Amazon, all kinds of places. But I would fill it up. We're going to paint this, but I wanted to show you a couple ideas before I paint it. You can put these in there for a filler. You can use moss. You can use straw. You can use anything you want for a filler. And then you can make you some little hearts or whatever you want to make. I made some little hearts out of some coffee stain and out of some little black material. All I did was glue them by hand. But I'm going to tell you, they do a lot better if you can hand sew them or do them on your machine, because they do come loose sometimes. So I've got another one started to show you. This one's going to have some more glue on there. This is just a piece of material. This is the material. Let me grab it right here. I got this one day from, I believe I got it from Walmart. It's just little wording. Isn't that cute? And instead of coffee staining it, I took some of the chocolate soufflé and I watered it down right here and added a little bit of coffee to it. So you can use the paints to do that as well. You don't have to just use the coffee. You can do that. You can use it without the coffee. So then I just took a little bit in a brush. Hold on, y'all. I had a brush right here. And I just made sure my brush was wet. I just took a little bit of that stain with the coffee, because it did darken it, and I just pressed it on there, just to give it a little coffee stain with paint, see? So that's what you can do. Then you're gonna glue it with, I'm just using some tacky glue. This tacky glue, I will say that this is pretty good glue, but if you want something that's really good, it's the 3-in-1 glue is a very good fabric. Get the Fabri-Tac or the other Fabri-Tac, Fabri something else. Get those, try those, and they will really hold it. But this seems to do okay on this tacky glue as long as you let it dry real well. It is kind of sticky. And then just put you a little bit of feeling. And I'll tell you another secret, another budget, buy you some inexpensive pillows. Now, I don't buy bed pillows from anywhere else. I get those new. But I had some old bed pillows. I washed them in the washing machine. Then I took all the stuffing out. I threw the cases away, took the stuffing out, so now it's nice and clean. And then I could just use that to stuff. But look for, you can find some, now, I don't buy a lot of pillows from the thrift store or anything like that. Somewhere like that, sometimes the Dollar General and places like that will have them. Grab those up. I'm going to put a little hot glue on this one. Y'all, I don't put a lot of hot glue on mine, but it's not wanting to stick right this minute. I just put a very little dab if I'm going to put hot glue. Not much, because it kind of makes it stiff. Okay, we'll put a little hot glue on that. And we're just going to glue that together. Okay. And then we've got our little stuffing. You put just a tad more. It keeps trying to pop out right there. But anyway, there's our little pillow or our little heart. You can do any kind of shape you want. Just lay those in there, and there you've got something. Now, that's a cute, inexpensive dough bowl. There's your dough bowl. Maybe you can't afford those dough bowls. They're pretty expensive. I would paint this brown with the paint, little coffee stain if you want to, or just thin it down with water, put it as your stain, and then you just use some paint. And one thing I love is that the paint is made from the earth. So if you don't know that about Josie's paints, they're made from the earth. So I feel like they are safer. Another thing you do is just take you some little inexpensive stars, hearts, whatever you find at the dollar store or order it on Amazon. Sometimes, y'all, you can order a whole lot more on Amazon. Just check that out. Check that out. I'm not knocking the dollar store. I'm just saying I find a lot more bargains on Amazon in a bigger package. So these, I took a little bit of that paint, put it around the edges, grunged them up a little bit, and then you can just put those in for a filler. So use whatever you want. Take one of these, take a basket, find you an old dough bowl you can redo, or just make you something up that's a little tray, and then you've got something for a little conversation piece. I took this one and went ahead and put my coat of undercover primer on it. This is a slick surface, so if you have a tray, a silver tray, one of these kind of trays, I would put a coat of this on there just to protect it, keep it from taking so much paint and scraping off easily, okay? So I am going to use some of my cream puff and paint this up in cream puff, and we're going to do something else with it, but I wanted to show you those ideas just so that you got a little taste of what you can do. And I know y'all are making, looks like we got it pretty good, pretty good. Let's dry that up. Got this beautiful tissue paper today, and I got this from my friend Shannon. Is this not gorgeous paper? That is so beautiful with those butterflies. I don't know where it came from because, as I said, it was gifted to me. I just love it. I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to put this on kind of like you would if you used Podge. But this is my own glue mixture. Let me find the top and put it back on our paint. All the Paint Pixie paints are made from the earth, so they are a safe paint to use. The chemicals, you don't have chemicals or smell any of that strong smell you get from others. Okay, so I've just got glue and water in here, and I appreciate that. Don't be afraid to paint furniture. I know a lot of people go, oh, don't paint that. Listen, if you want to paint it, you paint it. It's your furniture. Absolutely. Now, I hadn't worked with tissue paper in a while, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I know we're going to have to kind of cut some off, but I think we're going to use this part right here. And I may have to just leave the sides right there painted because, you know, it gets a little bit more wrinkled than our regular paper. Let me just use this one. Just kind of use our... Now, you're going to have a little bit of wrinkles when you use tissue paper. I'm okay with some little wrinkles. I'm okay. I'm not going to iron it. I'm just going to use... You can iron it gently, but I'm just going to use this. I'm going to put it down this way. I'm going to have to just take a little bit off. A little bit more glue on it. I'm going to cut this part off. We can reuse that on something else. I'm going to cut it a little bit long because I'm going to sand it off. I haven't used it in quite a while, but this is so pretty. This will be pretty on a background too. On a background that you're going to put something on. Ooh, don't want to cut that. Okay. It's a little wrinkled, but I'm all right. I'm all right with some wrinkle. Yeah. Let's see if we can get that down just a little bit without tearing it. Got a little bit of tear right there. There we go. Just kind of have to press it just a little bit. This does help it have a little bit better when you can kind of just press it in the sides. Okay, I'm not going to sand it till it dries good, so we're just going to leave it just like that. Isn't that pretty? I love that. We'll let that kind of just sit a minute and dry. And we're going to work on some other little things. So we're going to put some little things on here. I've got this little, I think this is a butterfly. We got this little guy. We got some flowers. So we're going to see. I wanted, you know, I kind of thought about putting the paper the other direction, but I think we'll put it like this. We're going to put our little butterfly. We do have some flowers. I'm going to look and see which one I want to do. Those kind of big. Maybe we'll use one of these. And for the stem, I'm going to use some of our paint Pixie mold, and that's going to be our little stems today. So that's what I'm going to use for stem. So I think we'll put, I think some of these we might just put a little piece of wood on the back. I've got some little pieces of wood here that we can use. Hold on. Let's see if we've got some little small ones. Make it stick up just a little bit. So I do need some green paint too. Put that right there. Grab some green. I'll put a little green here. We're going to paint our stems with it. We're going to paint our flowers up to kind of match. Let's paint our little, I think is this a dragonfly or a butterfly? Hey Tana, is it Tana or Tana? They have done beautiful work. The flooring's gorgeous. Think it's a dragonfly? You think it's a dragonfly? I do too. I think it's a dragonfly. So dragonflies can be any color. So we'll just paint it something, y'all. I can't even remember in the brain right now what color that a dragonfly is. I've seen them and they've been, I haven't seen one in a while. It seems like they're like grayish or whitish maybe. It won't matter. It's our decision what we want to do with it, right? I think it's a dragonfly too. I was given some butterflies like this, and I used some of them, so I figured that this is a dragonfly because it looked longer. So we'll use it. Let me get us a brush here. I'm just going to paint it up in a gray. It doesn't matter really. But I love to get some happy mail from my friends and have some new things that I didn't have or maybe that I can't find. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get right in here with this other brush right here on the edge. So I won't put too much on my wings here. But that'll be okay. And then we could put something on the little stripes if we want to. But either way, it'll be cute, right? Let's let that dry. We'll let that one dry up, and we'll use the dryer when we get everything else done. Okay, I think I'm going to use this little flower. Well, these little flowers here. So let's paint it up. We could paint it in the pink. There's pink in here. There's blues. Let's paint this one up in the pink, and we're going to use the cotton candy on it. You're on YouTube watching me. I welcome your comment. So I am not live on YouTube right now. I will be posting a video there. Go and join my YouTube as well. You'll see me use most of Josie's products on YouTube as well. I always put my link on there and always hashtag to her. YouTube welcomes people that craft. It is very frustrating, y'all, and y'all just don't know how it just bothers us too. So hang with us, because we are trying our best. I'll put a little red and darken that just a little bit to make it a little bit darker pink. Just a little bit of a darker pink, and I'm gonna paint that on here. Oh yeah, I like that color. That's pretty. This is a Pixie Doh. Y'all see me using the Pixie Doh. This is flexible. I put mine in the freezer and pull it out. Some things I can do without the freezer. If you use cornstarch, you can put it in your mold and pull it right out right then and use it. And you can paint it while it's wet. A little bit of that cream. And put on that little middle. Looks like I might have to put a little bit more paint in places. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more of this right here, and we'll dry that up. This, you can go look at my playlist, and you can see the ones that I've done on YouTube and some groups. And I am in several groups. I see how that's flexing. I'm just pushing it right down. Look how cute. That's an inexpensive flower you get from the dollar store in a pack. This is Pixie Doh. Pixie Doh is very reasonable. You can get it, put it in your molds. How cute is that? All right, we'll let that one dry a minute. Let's do our butterfly. So we're gonna do our butterfly in some gold here. Ooh, I almost got that off the table. Glad I was watching. All right, let's see if I've got another brush here. It's kind of big. Hold on. Now I had to wash all my brushes, so I used a lot this weekend. Okay, I think this goes this direction. Let's just paint it up. These are also look like laser cut. I know they're an inexpensive thing, but we're decorating on a budget. So think about a budget. We're decorating on a budget. For those of you who say, I've got to decorate on a budget. Go to the thrift store. Y'all go to the thrift store, look for items that you like, and maybe it's not a color you like. All you have to do is paint it up. Clean it, paint it up. Y'all do not have any idea how many things I've got in my home that I have repainted. I even had some old home interiors. Even some of the old home interior and this is the licorice. Let me get my little tool here. I'm gonna put a couple polka dots just for something a little different, right? I'm just going to take my little tool and I'm going to put some polka dots right here on the edges. These are good. This is going to be quick and easy, but it's also going to be budget friendly for you to make you some. Polka dots always make it cuter. Always make it cuter with some polka dots. You can get these little dot tools at the dollar store. I do also have a set from Amazon that I forget I have that's different sizes. You can also use the end of a pencil if you want some big ones. You get some of those big eraser pencils and use that. Totally up to what you want to do. You love it. Thank you. Yes, we have to just pray for what our country needs. They had a protest here over the weekend, I think it was, or maybe it was the end of last week, but it was very peaceful. And no. I'm going to paint this a little bit right here. We'll go back and put some more paint on that. It looks like it's kind of getting a little dry. Okay, on this, I'm going to take my, Nope. There they are. I'm going to take my Posca pens. And these are great too. And I'm just going to draw some little curves around on our flower. Just a little curve with a dot. I learned this with paint when I was doing toll painting. Doesn't have to be anything perfect at all. Just a couple on your flower, just to kind of dress it up. And I think I'll put a couple right down here at the bottom, right there. And I think we'll do that way. That looks good. Okay, let's do here. One. And let's do one up here, right there. And let's do one that way and there. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. Just do it like you want. Okay. There we go. So we got these finished. Let's put these back on our tray. Now I am going to have to take some of this off. You can cut it. You can sand it. So you want to sand it with a lighter sandpaper, not a real heavy one like you would some rice paper, because it will need something gentle to tear it. So we're going to use our little blocks. I'm going to use a couple of those. I think I might use one. He might stand up. No, I think I will put that little block there. I think I'll put that little block on the edge there. Let me get just a little bit of this glue. And I'm going to put it down here and get this to kind of lay down right there on that edge. There we go. There we go. I will work with it a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to put this down on our little piece here. And I'll fix that paint. Let's put him down. Let's see, if we put it right there, it'll kind of stick up just a little bit. Yeah. I'm not going to worry about the paint right now, but I think I will go ahead and paint it in that color. But I'm just going to put this on. We're going to put a little hot glue. Absolutely, absolutely. Just have to keep loving people. That's the important thing, right? Okay, y'all know this has got glue. There it goes. Okay. I know that glue tool's in your way right there. Okay. So I'm going to put this down right here. Okay. And then we're going to put our little flower right here. I'm going to use one of these blocks for it. These are just the little blocks that you can get in a package at the dollar store. I'm trying to be thrifty for y'all, so you can see that we can do thrifty creating. Just putting some hot glue. That's going to make it stick up just a little bit where we can put our stem underneath. That's what I'm looking at, is putting my stem under there. So I've got these little pieces here that I did out of Pixie Doh. Y'all see they still bend. This was one of the molds I had. It's almost like a little ribbons. It almost looks like little ribbons. Let's take our brush that we had, and let's put some green on there. Get it painted up. Let's do some little green. Y'all know I'm a messy painter. That's why I usually wear an apron. Thank y'all for hanging in and being here with us today. We appreciate it very much. And you've used clay and you just didn't like it because it kind of cracks. Get you some Pixie Doh. Josie has molds that you can get. Order some of those. Try them out. You will find that you will like them. This cuts. All you have to do is cut it. Get it where you want. How about that? Cut it. Now, you can't do that with clay for sure. And I will need to touch that just a little bit right in here. Okay. Let me give that a quick dry where I painted the bottom so it wouldn't show. And I probably just use the other end and put this up under the flower. We're just going to put it down with some little tacky glue. The hot glue may pop off. I always use a tacky glue or a wood glue on this. Thank y'all for hanging with me. Y'all are so sweet. It means a lot to me for you to be here. Ooh. Okay, y'all. And I'm going to put that down right underneath it. Hold on. It's trying to get away from me here. I might have to trim it just a little bit. No, it's working. It's working. I thought it was too long, but I think it'll work. Let me show y'all how cute. How different is that than just putting a stick on there? How cute is that? Is that not cute? All right, we're going to put our butterfly over here. And I've got another little block. We'll put that on. We're going to put it right over here. We'll turn it in that way. Put it right there. And I'm loving that. Look how cute and simple, but isn't it cute? Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to put a little moss down in here. Go back with a little, I'm going to glue this down really well, the paper. And I'm going to go back. I could possibly piece a piece right here. I think I'll try it and see how it looks and kind of make it just blend in. and that way the whole tray is done. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of dark wax around it, and maybe a little bit on this guy, or I might do something else with it. You also can use your pens. So I could use a pen on that and draw that in. Since it was a little bit, the wood was a little rough, I could just take my black and just put black in there if I want to. You also can do the little eyes on there with black. So I think I'll do that. I'll just go around with the black and put that over. But you also can use paint. If your hand is steady, use the paint. And then I can do that down there. It almost looks like it's got a stinger, doesn't it? But you know they don't. You can do your eyes. So that's what I have for you today. I see one little place I got to fix on the butterfly, but I'll get that done. And I appreciate you being here and hanging with me. And just a little simple something that you could do today, y'all, for budget-friendly decorating.